Good day, everybody. How are you? It's Double Daddy here. I'm doing well. I'm here on behalf of tokenpathways.com, and we hope you're having a great day, and we hope this video finds you very well. Before we jump in, we're going to ask you to like and subscribe. Go visit us on YouTube, X, Discord, wherever you find us. Shoot us an email if you want. There's also a website, tokenpathways.com. Jumping into today's articles, we're looking at another fintech company that's raising $800 million for a Bitcoin treasury. This company called Mercurity is raising enough money to purchase approximately 7,400 Bitcoin, at least in theory, making them, once the purchase has occurred, the 11th largest corporate holder of Bitcoin, surpassing GameStop's 4,700 odd Bitcoins that they hold. So I don't know if this stat lines up with my stats, but using the Bitcoin treasuries.net website, I've got different numbers than this. I do agree with the 223 companies and entities now holding Bitcoin as an asset, but I believe the percentage that they're holding is closer to 3.39 or 3.4 million Bitcoin in total, not 819,000. So I'm going to disagree with this paragraph, but we'll move on from it. Suffice it to say, there's hundreds of public entities holding millions of Bitcoin. So this is, we're getting into, the Russell Index and the Russell Microcap here, but what they're really noting here is that this reserve will be managed using institutional grade custody, on-chain liquidity, and staking-enabled tools to improve capital efficiency. So there's going to be a bit of an exploratory search here for how they might be able to stake Bitcoin, but I'm not seeing any particulars here just yet. But the goal says here, or rather it says here, the goal is to hold not just hold Bitcoin, but to put it to work within a secure yield-generating infrastructure. So in time, we're going to see more plans roll out for this. And I like seeing it. So it's another day, another company coming into the Bitcoin treasury space. Let's move on from it. And we'll take a look at another company, goes hard, on XRP with an XRP treasury plan. Now, this is a bit of a different article because take a look at the in brief here. We've got Trident Digital Tech Holdings, which is TDTH. They've announced their plan for an XRP treasury up to $500 million worth. Now, this is a progressive move, and they expect this treasury rollout to begin later this year. However, their shares fell more than 30% on the day and are down 94% on the year. What is happening with this company? So this is, to me, based on these facts, this is a bit of a Hail Mary. If they're down 94% on the year, they're taking as much money as they can to try and shore up their holdings. So maybe they're trying to stem the losses. It's a Singapore-based firm, and it has a blockchain-based identity solution as its flagship product, and it trades on the NASDAQ as TDTH. Also appointed Chaince Securities LLC as a strategic advisor. So we're seeing digital assets as key enablers in the evolution of the global financial landscape, says the Trident founder, chairman, and CEO, Soon Wat Lim. But again, you can talk to me all you want. These facts speak volumes. In the fact that they're announcing a $500 million purchase and their shares fall 30%, there is more to this story. The fact that their shares are down 94% on the year definitely deserves a little more research. But what this tells me is that if we've got a company that's down 94%, this might be a beautiful buying opportunity. But again, we have to do our own research. And I think I know what I'm doing after this video. So so far we've got a Bitcoin treasury occurring. We've got an XRP treasury occurring. Now, this one threw me a little bit. We've got a Tron treasury occurring. Now, I'm going to apologize in advance. There's going to be massive pop-ups here. But we've got SRM, a NASDAQ-listed company. SRM Entertainment comes amid the move. Wow, let's just restart here. SRM to build a 210 million Tron treasury or TRX token treasury. They're rebranding the company as Tron Incorporated, and they're bringing in the Tron token founder, Justin Sun, as an advisor. So the move by NASDAQ listed SRM Entertainment comes amid a regulatory thaw between the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and the Tron founder, Justin Sun. So the SRM Entertainment is set to launch a $210 million TRX treasury and change its name to Tron Incorporated. They announced on Monday. So according to the announcement, SRM entered a securities purchase agreement with a private investor for a $100 million equity investment to fund its Tron treasury strategy. Now, I can't believe they got him, but the Tron founder, Justin Sun, will join the company as an advisor. And as this article progresses, maybe we understand why Justin Sun's on this advisory council. So as part of the deal, SRM Entertainment will issue 100,000 shares of its Series B stock, convertible preferred stock rather, and this stock can be converted into a total of 200 million shares of its common stock at a conversion price of 50 cents per share, and 220 million warrants to acquire up to this is gobbledygook for the layperson. Let's move along. The strategic investment, valued at 210 million, which is a ton. Like, these numbers, they sound numbers, but they don't, like, can you visualize $210 million? I cannot. So this strategic investment, valued at 210, enables SRM to build a substantial Tron treasury strategy. Now, Dominari Securities, the bank that structured the deal, reportedly has ties to the family of the U.S. President Donald Trump. Now, here is the kicker. The FT reported that Trump's son, Eric Trump, is expected to take a role at the newly rebranded firm. So, looking at this article as a whole, we have a valuable and established NASDAQ-listed company rebranding itself into a digital assets-focused company with a digital asset treasury, bringing a digital founder, the digital token founder of your treasury, onto your company as an advisor, in addition to the son of the current sitting U.S. president. I don't think I need to connect any more of those dots for you. I think that more research is required here. So just to recap on today's news, we've got a Bitcoin treasury, we've got an XRP treasury, and we have a Tron treasury. Not hearing a whole lot about anybody creating US dollar treasuries these days. I'm not even hearing about US stablecoin treasuries getting created these days. But I'm sure it is happening. There's blends happening with other hard assets. I'm sure that it is. We're just not hearing about it in the last couple days. It's worth noting that I'm only covering a few articles every day. And I do that because I don't want to overload anybody who's listening to this while they're not looking at the screen. This is meant to be more of a casual chit-chat between us, that you may not get to talk crypto with your friends or your acquaintances every day, and you want this interaction. You want to just hear somebody talk about the space that you're passionate about, and trust me, I am that guy. Now, I digress a little bit here because I do think stablecoins have a space, but I do think that the more companies that invest in digital asset treasuries that aren't stablecoins, I think the earlier that you get there, so long as you're using tokens that have strong economics, strong burns, strong mechanisms for future plans, and so long as you don't have a lot of centralization, or at least administrative centralization, I think that those are fairly safe bets. So it's worth noting that Bitcoin is the obvious choice. Bitcoin's the one that's already there. But it is also worth noting that, in the next 2 years, we could, in theory, run out of supply of Bitcoin that's available to the retail public, that's available to any of us. Even OTC can dry up. So it's worth saying that looking ahead is a valid... It's pragmatic. Let's leave it there. So do your research. Take a look at what smarter people than you and I are doing. And research why they're doing that. See if that makes sense for you. Because I know we don't invest a ton as retail investors, but every little bit counts. And because we invest so little compared to these big players, it matters even more where we put this stuff. So, I love you guys. Thank you for spending the time with me today. This video has been brought to you by the fine folks at tokenpathways.com and your friendly neighborhood double daddy. I hope you enjoyed the content. We hope you come and visit us, like and subscribe. You're going to get lots more content coming from us soon if you want to be a part of the channel. We are looking for you. Again, reach out to us if you want to be a part of the digital asset space. Thank you so much for listening to us and spending the time with us today. Hope you go out and have the best day you can possibly have. Thanks for listening. Take care, everyone.